Nervous. You're just gonna flat iron here.
It's Maggie Mulhern from Modern Salon TV. I am here with Gerard Caruso.
Hey guys.
What's your title, Gerard?
The artistic director for Rusk.
Rusk, and he's got a cool new hair thing going on here today. And Troy, tell us your full name and title.
Oh, hi, Troy Muncie, master designer with the Rusk team.
Okay, cool. And we're here at a photo shoot at the Water Street Studio, New York City, and we are working with our model today, who probably doesn't want to be identified right now because she's not all made up and all kinds of pretty. And I'm here with Gerard, and we're getting ready to cut the hair before we color it. And you just had a very interesting. You were just saying you have to flat iron before cutting, and we want to tell the professionals why. A lot don't do it, so I'm going to flip this all on you, Mr. Gerard. Tell us why you're doing this.
You know what, guys? Here's the situation. Depending on the texture of hair that you're working with and the density that you have, sometimes the texture of the hair is really, really important. And we're working on our beautiful model. She's got a natural texture of hair. It's not chemically relaxed. So by flat ironing it prior, it's going to give us better direction when we go to cut it. It's going to keep our sections a little bit cleaner. But what's really important is watch how Troy takes that on the diagonal. He's taking those diagonal sections, and the reasoning for that is he's actually following the shape of the head. So keep in mind, if you're going to cut any type of hair that is a little bit more natural textured, a little bit more coarser, and you want to cut it dry, it's more important to get control over that by cutting it with a flat iron.
Somebody asked, what if it's super curly hair?
If it's super curly hair, it's depending on the look that you're trying to achieve. So if you want to get a flexible style that you can wear both straight and curly, sometimes it's easier if you're going to cut it dry, flat iron the hair first. If it's going to be wet, then allow it to stay curly.
Okay, here's my question. I have straight hair on top and wavy underneath. So when I see people flat iron my hair before they cut it, I don't like that, because then when I go to set it myself or prepare it myself, I've got two different lengths going on.
Well, in your case, Maggie, because of the simple fact that we're not...
Oops, sorry. I moved this around. It came back on me. Forgive me. We're back on Gerard, yeah.
So in your situation, Maggie, because you're working with dual texture of hair, it's probably better not to flat iron the hair first, because then we can see the way that the hair is actually naturally going to fall. So in your case, I would just cut it the regular way. I would shampoo it first, keep it damp, and then cut it that way. So I wouldn't even flat iron your hair. But especially on this model, because that texture is much more coarse, we're working with natural textures more today than ever before. This is going to give us a little bit more control when we go to cut the hair, and it's going to allow us to see the length of the hair so we don't ever take that too short.
What is going on? Is her hair relaxed? Just tell us what her hair situation is.
This is her natural color and her natural texture. After the shoot today, you're going to see something drastically changed in her. It's not chemically relaxed. This is her texture. She has a finer texture to the hair, but it's much coarse in how can we say, the circumference of the hair. So it's a little bit more of a frizzier texture, but it's controlled. So there's no chemicals in it. Natural color, right? Never had color before?
Are you telling us the truth? Is this
Yes.
your natural texture, natural color?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we need to know.
No chemical relaxers, anything. And you know,
Promise?
Promise.
and one thing why Troy and I were really drawn to her to pick her as a model was the simple fact that because of that natural texture of hair, and people are going a lot more natural today, we're going to take something so natural, add a little bit of color to it that's going to really give it that kind of more enhanced feel and that more textural feel to the hair.
Okay, and then you were saying something, Troy, about how you're actually flat ironing, that this is the way a professional should flat iron the hair. What is different and unique about flat iron, the way you're flat ironing the hair?
You know, we believe that as professional hairdressers, we always have to have a method to what we're doing, right? And so really taking this and deliberately ironing these sections. So I'm wrapping around the head, but you notice as I'm ironing, I'm focusing on the most resistant area of her hair, which is right at the scalp area. So I'm going over that several times just to get the smoothness, and then running down to the mid-shaft and ends. I think oftentimes when we get in a hurry, or sometimes we have a tendency to over iron the ends, and then they get damaged and dry and fuzzy. So the ends are actually far more sensitive than the newer growth. So we focus on the newer growth first, and then go ahead and straighten the ends.
Okay, and then tell me why this is, I think, the #1 selling flat iron in the world. Yes, I know it's knocked off right and left.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
so why is this such a great flat iron?
It's such a great flat iron, Maggie, because the plate on here is going to allow us to get that even temperature throughout this scalp all the way out to the ends. But if you notice, look at the plate, how narrow and thin it is. So Troy's able to get it really, really close. And like he said earlier, the scalp area is the most resistant part. So he's focusing on, by opening and closing that flat iron, it's really thin. in, so it gets really tight to the scalp, and not concentrating on the end. So it's, if you guys don't have a flat iron like this, is really important. You know.
Right, somebody just asked, what is it? It's the Babyliss Pro. Here, show it. The
Nano titanium.
Nano titanium. And somebody said it's the length of the. Is that what you said?
Of the plate. It's the length and the width of the plate that allows Troy to control the hair and get it really, really close to the scalp area.
So you can see, if you focus, how narrow this width is here. So I can get really, really tight to the scalp, which when you're working on a texture of hair like this is really, really important to get as close to the scalp as you possibly can.
All right, well, you guys, we've got you all day. I'm going to be checking back in with you. We're doing color, we're doing cut, and we're gonna have some fun periscopes today. So everybody, stay tuned. We've got Gerard and Troy and our pretty model who's trying to
stay incognito.
We're here at the Water Street studio. I'm going to do a quick pan. Here we are. There's Roberto Legreschi, the famed photographer. One is Lillian Nahas. It has more covers than any other photographer. Hair covers on the planet. There's Randy back there who hangs out with us, and you guys can't wait to see what happens today. It's going to be a good shoot. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.